Omar. I'm Omar.
I'm Trevor.
And I was doing the podcast. We're a couple minutes into this thing.
Podcast that nobody was watching.
I was like looking at the numbers. I'm like, usually we have like a couple of people in here right now. So what had happened was I forgot to hit. I set up everything and then I forgot to hit go live. Oops. But now there's an exclusive video that's going to be on the OT Graps YouTube channel of us talking about Samantha Irvin and what she meant to WWE, Trevor.
Yeah, apparently.
So if you want that, go over to youtube.com/OT Graps and subscribe because you're not going to get it here. I'm so sorry, chat. I'm so sorry, Trevor. My apologies. Oh, you see, I was like, now we're getting viewers. I was like, wait a minute. Why is there...
Yeah, I was like, wait, we're not getting any... What is going on?
Well, this is... Hello, everyone. Samantha Irvin has quit WWE. The news broke right before Raw. Lillian Garcia is back in the fold. Trevor, what do you think is next for Samantha Irvin?
Well, she's labeled as an actress and also a singer. She has the range of her voice. She has a great voice, as we talked about 10 minutes ago.
Allegedly.
She has a great voice and her voice ranges. She has good range on her voice. If she can sing, which I think I've actually seen videos of her singing.
She recently sang the national anthem at the Las Vegas Raiders game.
She sure did. Yep. You're absolutely right. Yep. And I think that's something that she can do. She's just, it is a loss to WWE. It's great to see Lillian Garcia back, but it's also a loss.
Yeah,
and
all the haters on Lillian Garcia, y'all better keep your mouth shut, man. Lillian Garcia got us through some rough times.
We love Lillian. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens after. I wish Samantha Irvin the best, though. I really do.
Yeah. I think obviously like the automatic thing that people kind of point to is, well, she's headed to AEW. It's happening. Right. It's confirmed, as people would say. She's going to AEW. We don't know that yet. We don't know what is next for Samantha Irvin, and that's why I'm like, I think there's definitely we can speculate, we can talk, chop shop and all that kind of stuff, but as far as what she's going to do definitively, I think it's hard to kind of navigate that. I do know from what I've seen of her not only singing, but I think that she did this spot a couple of years ago on, I think, what was it, America's Got Talent or something, one of those type of shows. Mm-hmm. And she was playing the flute, and then they were like, oh, but you can't sing though, and then she starts singing like crazy. So she's a very talented individual.
She has a great voice. Yes, she does.
Yeah, and I'm kind of the mind of this, Trevor. Sometimes not that I'm old, but one of the things that recently is of getting into my late 20s that I'm kind of realizing is YOLO, right? It's you only live once.
You only live once,
huh? You don't need to be look. You don't need to be no one's asking for you to be Beyonce or Taylor Swift or but if she wants to go out there, produce some content, get her name out there as an artist and really go at it. Who are we to say no or she's gonna fail? I think and that's I don't like that. Genuinely, I don't like it when people insinuate that. It kind of irks me. Because I've seen a lot of that online. It's good. There was a backlash against her was horrible. People were saying disgusting things about her after her departure. Yeah,
there were. They've said things about the way her voice sounds. They've said things about her in general. Just absolutely horrible things that they've said about this woman who does not garner any of that. She probably, from reports saying things I've seen, one of the sweetest women who you can meet. Everyone talks great about her. Everyone is upset that she's leaving. So I got to be a testament to who the person she is.
Precisely, and I think look, she is an iconic talent. She added to people's characters in a way that I think we kind of talked about earlier when we weren't live. Sorry, chat. But she really did that. Even the little thing that she would do, Chelsea Green or.
Right.
Her like intro of like Roman Reigns, like the big bloodline intro. It's like, she's with the Usos, the wise man, Paul Heyman. Like it added so much, and it was so different than I think what anyone like has done in that role. Like you've had people like even like Justin Roberts, he's done his little Gian Moxley or Gian Cena, like, or Tony Chimmel, the rated R.
Tony Chimmel, yeah.
Superstar. But like I don't know. I don't think anyone did it as or has done it, I should say, as well as Samantha Irvin.
No, like I mean, being one of the first women of color. Well, I can't say first woman of color because Lillian Garcia is a woman of color as well.
Shout out to Lillian.
And she did as well. But one of the, I guess, first Black African American women to announce for WWE. I mean, one, it's a big thing. Two, it's like she did. I mean, she knocked it out of the park. Like she set the standard very high for any announcer after her. She really. I mean, people don't like her, and that's fine. But she is really, really good at what she does.
Absolutely, and I think like no matter what she does, I think she's going to do great. Obviously, though, the question is like, do we see her popping up in AEW? Ricochet did respond to a fan about this.
Did he really?
Yeah, and he basically said like, "Ha ha ha, don't expect to see her in AEW," which I think has gotten a lot of people saying like, oh, "Okay, well, she's probably not doing something related to wrestling," but
still could be.
You know what? Part of me is just like, I could very well see a situation where she's like, she comes in and does like a spot. Like I could totally see her coming in, doing a spot. Maybe even like for like if Ricochet has like a world title match, maybe she's like the special guest ring announcer or something. I could see her coming in doing like a spot. I don't think she would be like the full-time person. Although a team with that would be an A tier like ring announce team with her and Justin Roberts. That'd be crazy.
Oh, absolutely. I honestly think Justin Roberts is one of the best to ever do it. Honestly, I absolutely love Justin Roberts.
His delivery of like Kenny Omega, his entrance, and now, like,
dude, like it makes you feel like, of course, it's not on that level, but it kind of makes you feel like you're listening to Let's Get Ready to Rumble, my boy. It kind of gives you that feel.
Yeah. Roberts definitely also has like a really like iconic like delivery too. But man, Samantha Irvin, man, like it's tough though. It is tough because I'm like, part of me is also like, I don't want to see her go because like she's a staple. She's been a staple of the past couple of years on WWE TV.
She really has. She definitely had. I mean, of course, Lillian Garcia can do no wrong in my eyes and in most people's eyes, but it's still Samantha Irvin. Samantha Irvin is amazing. I mean, in my world, it'd be just Samantha Irvin and Lillian Garcia that announce everything for WWE, but that's just my world.
Hey man, shout out to what's her name, Alicia Taylor. Shout out to
her. Yeah, Alicia's good too. I really do like Alicia though.
Yeah, shout out to everyone out there doing their thing on the ring announce duties, unless you're like Jim Cornette. I don't know. Did Jim Cornette do ring announcing? I hope not.
I don't think he did.
I hope not.
For his sake, I hope not.
For our sake, I hope not, man. Jim Cornette is like, all right, I want an extra cheese. Could you imagine him doing ring announcing? He's like, in this corner, we got this piece of crap over here versus this other piece of crap. I just came here for my extra double cheeseburger.
It gets worse.
I mean, look, I'm giving you the G version of what he would say.
Oh yeah, I actually seen the version of this, and good lord, how much.
No. Well, we were talking about AEW. Well, actually, first let's acknowledge the people in the chat.
What up, people?
Thank you, Brian. By the way, Brian Webster. Shout out to you for being the one to alert me that the stream hasn't started. I appreciate that. This is why we rely on the chat, people. This is why we rely on the chat. I appreciate you. We got Tony in the chat saying, "What's up? What's up, Tony?"
What's up, Tony?
Ruben, Samantha, no.
Yes, I agree. Totally agree.
I was about to create Samantha Irvin is hashtag All Elite banner last night. I mean, could happen.
Could happen.
OMG against. Jesus Christ, I can't read that. Against Wagon Me, I'm finally on time. That's crazy, Jermaine. Amen. Look,
Jermaine, I love you.
I can't speak for black people in this. There is a thing as Desi Standard Time, DST. So if like a brown person is ever late to anything, that's how you know.
Oh yeah, DC Standard Time is a thing.
So like 6 p.m. means like 8:30. I'll get there at 8:30.
the PC way of saying it is CP, color people time, but it is a thing in DMV called DC Standard Time.
I'll have you know it's it is people of color time. I'll have you know, sir. I love Mamacita Lillian as much as I love Samantha. I mean, Tony's out here. Tony is out here. He loves his Mamacita Lillian.
Hey, I love Mamacita Lillian.
It's like Eddie Guerrero, Viva la Raza. Whoa, Dapper Yapper is the best, but just my preference. Dapper Yapper is good. He's really good.
I love Dapper Yapper.
Another guy. Well, Trevor, speaking of AEW, I want to update you on a little situation that AEW's got a brewing.
Please.
Chris Jericho could be leaving All Elite Wrestling in 2025 as his AEW deal is set to expire. Trevor, I got to hear from you. We don't know what the status is. Ibu of WrestlePurist is the one who kind of broke this story and said that as of right now, there's no injury time that's set to be added on. There's no other extra time. 2025, at some point, his contract will expire. I'm just going to ask you straight up. Should AEW re-sign Chris Jericho?
I will answer that with a question. Do we care?
I will answer that with a question. Do you care?
Okay. Look, before I give an actual honest to God answer, I will say this. What Jericho has done for AEW has been pretty phenomenal. He's done the Jericho Cruise line when he's had wrestlers from different promotions, even especially AEW, on the show. Like, he's done great things with wrestling and for wrestling. Like, Jericho will go down in history as being one of the pillars, so to speak, of AEW that helped launch AEW into the stratosphere. And I mean, he's just going to go down in history for being a great wrestler in general, for wrestling all the major promotions, wrestling. Excuse me. Plenty of decades. Look, his career has gotten better as he got older. Like, I mean, he's gotten a little sloppy. He did lose some weight and got back. And he's up and down, whatever. But he has done some incredible things. With that being said, his run in AEW has been good at times. And at times completely unwatchable. He is on his 18th group. This is probably the Jericho learning tree, and it's probably the worst one possible. Do they need to sign him? It's great to have someone like him with that mind in the locker room, but he doesn't need to be an active wrestler.
I hear you. And I pretty much agree with you. Look, I think, like, there's obviously like a ton of baggage on Jericho for various reasons that, I think have turned a lot of people off from him. Both like political, some of the, backstage stuff that he allegedly did. And, it's one of those things like, like that stuff matters. And if that does, then, I mean, like, even take the politics out. Let's just talk about the backstage stuff. Because politics are what they are. That's shouldn't have like really any sway on someone's ability to keep a job, or not. But the backstage stuff does kind of matter because, like, you know, on one hand, Chris Jericho is a backstage leader in AEW, and he is a locker room leader. He's been there since the beginning, 35 years of experience. But then you have like stuff that, again, the story that broke last December, which it was not a good look. At the best case, that's the best way I can put it. But I do think, like, you know, one of like the problems as far as the character that goes with Jericho, I think people just find him stale as a character too.
Yeah, me too.
And one of the things, like, right, if we just want to put that in a vacuum for a sec, one of the things that kind of gave Jericho this image of being able to recreate himself, recreate himself and, like, you know, reinvent himself, adapt with the times, was like going away. Because Jericho would go away, and then he would come back as like a new version of himself, like, you know, with a new gimmick, and it would be cool.
That was one of the best things about Jericho, honestly. One of the most intangibles, I guess you could say, things you can't teach.
For sure. But like, I think one of the issues recently has been, dude hasn't gone away. He's been there. He's just been there on TV. And I think he's someone who could like do with like 6 months of being off TV. And then you have him return and be like, you know, do whatever, right? Because he's Chris Jericho. He's going to find something to do and it's going to matter. But I think like with Jericho, it's like one of those things, like you have like a lot of like the baggage that he has already combined with like the fact that people are kind of just like sick of seeing him on their screens because they know it's not really leading to anything meaningful, you know? And I think that's what it is. It just hasn't led to anything meaningful. And we haven't gotten a chance to like miss Chris Jericho. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
I think that's kind of where we're at with this.
Sorry, I had to close my door.
Yo, you're good, man. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. I just think, like, you know, if he didn't get re-signed, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing. But I also think Tony's gonna do what he can to keep Jericho because that's just one of his guys.
I mean, like I said, like the man will go anywhere and still be one of the highest regarded talent on any roster. That's the truth. You can't knock what Jericho has done. You can't knock what Jericho has done and accomplished in his career and what he brings to your locker room. Regardless of whether he wrestles or not, that veteran presence will help any new locker room or whatever. It's just the morale will help. Is he going to WWE? Sorry, Marks, probably not. I don't think.
But where is my Y2J?
He has done everything he could possibly do in WWE and then some. He doesn't need to go to WWE. WWE might want him, but he doesn't need WWE.
Chris Jericho coming in. I love double E.
double.
Oh, I love double E. Vladimir Kozlov, very underrated gimmick. If it was like 20 years earlier, Vladimir Kozlov would have been the world champion. I guarantee you, internet.
I absolutely agree. But no, like I think Tony's gonna try to keep him because, like you said, he is his boy, and that veteran presence couldn't hurt in his locker room. So I think he's gonna try to keep him. I don't think he's gonna throw the same paycheck at him, but he's gonna try to keep him.
It'd be crazy if he went back to WWE though. That would be a story.
It wouldn't make any sense.
I mean, like, hey, man, the paycheck, man, that's what it's all about. If you can get that paycheck,
the paycheck would be stupid.
The paycheck would be crazy. TKO would be like,
the paycheck would make about as much sense as him going back there.
Yo, imagine Jericho being like, I gotta work for Hunter.
Never worked for Hunter before. I gotta work for Hunter.
Like, for real this time. He's like, Jericho, we're gonna bring you in and get you back for that podcast you did with Stone Cold that we let you do. That is one of the wildest things ever. The fact that like Jericho was basically allowed to do like a 2-hour long infomercial for AEW on Peacock, like, is still one of the craziest things that happened in the pandemic.
On the Broken Skull, Joe, right?
Yeah. Because like it was like bro, half that thing he was just like talking about AEW, and Jericho knew what he was doing. He's like, I was the first AEW World Champion. Like he was just slipping in
Yeah,
AEW.
they just went off. Is that still on Peacock? I don't. They took it off.
Oh, it's on Peacock. It's still. I check every now and then just to make sure it's still there.
That's hilarious.
The wild thing is that happened while Vince was still in charge.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, that I remember. Yeah,
Then he was mad about it. Then he got mad about it.
Well, you missed.
They didn't even like edit out the AEW stuff.
No, until like maybe a year after that was because it's been out for 2 years now, right? So after a year,
2-3 years, something like that. It was during like it was like it came out like either like early 2021, late 2020, something like that.
Yeah. Because like I watched it like a year after that, and I was like, he's still talking about AEW. They didn't, because like if you look at certain things with the old WWF, a lot of them especially on the caption it'll say WWE. Like they may verbally say WWF, but the caption will say WWE.
Hey man, one thing you know is Tony Khan's not gonna there's no cease and desist that's gonna be sent. He's like, look, keep it up, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Keep on talking about AEW. That was crazy. Remember Sami Zayn, like he got in trouble for mentioning AEW on Run. It's like, you could ask me anything. You could ask me about AEW. Shout out to Sami Zayn, bro. Oh man. But yeah, that's crazy. I mean, is there anything Chris Jericho could do, Trevor, to like pique your interest at this point?
I'm just sick of the repetitiveness, honestly. Like he's had so many different stables. Like he said, like that's all he's done. Like he hasn't.
Yo, his song, it has go away heat for me. Like his new song, The Learning Tree. I am the learning tree. Dun, na, 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 na. I don't like it. I never thought I'd be like, please give me Fozzy back. Like, please give me Judas back.
I want Judas back. Bring me back. No.
My favorite thing is Jericho. Dude, this dude is... Okay. A lot of things I don't like about Jericho as a person. This dude is funny as hell, though. Like, because Trevor, he went on his podcast the week after All In, and he just, like, starts talking about, like, yeah, how many bands can say they've played Wembley Stadium twice? And I'm just like, you are such a... Bro, he is such a carny. Like, Chris Jericho is, like, the biggest, like, wrestling carny ever.
He is. He might be bigger than what's his name? Jimmy Cornette and it was another one that I said was a big wrestling carny. I forget the name now, but yeah, he might be bigger than them.
This man, I mean, this man is imagine it, bro. It's like that shot he did at Wembley last year when they had like 88,000 people or whatever. And like he was doing the old Freddie Mercury, like,
oh yeah,
like I was like, bro, you need to stop this.
Don't ever do it again
with Fozzy. Like, please stop with the Fozziness. We sold out Wembley Stadium. I'm like, no, you didn't.
No, you did not, you liar.
Fozzy did not. Stop trying to get Fozzy over. You got one song over, all right? You got one song over.
Fozzy stops Fozzying after a while.
You see, like, they did a concert recently, and there were, like, 12 people there. It was really sad.
Really bad, actually.
It's really sad. Chris Jericho's like, he's playing the song. He's like, yeah. Like, I become. Like, no, dude.
He's the Ayatollah of rock and roller.
Yeah, Hawk Tua. That is not a Hawk Tua girl reference. As a Iron Sheik reference.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's like Hulk Hogan, Hawk Tua. Imagine Iron Sheik, R.I.P.
God, rest in peace.
Imagine my boy going like, yeah, Hawk Tua. If Iron Sheik was still alive and he was able to have like a conversation with Hawk Tua girl, that would be it. Internet.
It'll break the internet. It'll break the internet.
Internet would need to go away because there's nothing that could top that.
I say, fuck you, Hulk Hogan, Hawk Tua.
And she was hanging out with Hulk Hogan recently.
She was.
the Iron Sheik's like spirit like possesses her body. And just starts like huck to him. Oh, well, not. Whoa, hey now.
Hey now.
Oh
hey.
no.
I will say this just because I'm not a piece of shit. Recently the Hulk Hogan store in Florida got hit and damages and things like that. Hope no one was hurt. Hope you guys get back on your feet. I don't want to lose jobs, but Hulk Hogan, fuck you. But the rest of the employees, I hope you guys are okay.
Here's what I will say. I hope that no one gets fired. I hope that everyone's able to keep their jobs, keep a paycheck, all that kind of stuff. But I hope Hulk Hogan has to spend as much money as possible before all of that is is allowed
and
to.
I hope one of his employees comes out as 10% black. There we go. Now let's.
Well, no, you don't want that because they actually might get fired then because Hulk Hogan is, of course, apparently a racist.
You don't know it, yeah.
Jericho uses his backstage power to keep people down. Hey man, that's the game.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Tesla robot.
He's not the only one though.
Tesla robot versus Chris Jericho. That will happen.
I got money on Tesla robot.
My top 14 favorite women's wrestlers: Hikaru Shida, Bayley, Liv Morgan, Mickie James, Trish Stratus, Britt Baker, DMD, Roxanne Perez, Mandy Rose, Asuka, almost said Alicia Fox, Alexa Bliss. Shout out to Alicia Fox though. Alexa Bliss, Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, and Raquel and Vaquer. That's a lot of favorite wrestlers right there.
That's a lot of good wrestlers too.
When he said brother, he
meant something else.
I still can't get over that picture of him with Mr. T that I saw at MSG, and I was like, "Hey, yo, he's too tan, bro."
Exactly, bro.
Hulk, you're too tan, man.
Dude, Hulk Hogan. I thought Hulk Hogan was black for a while too. Actually, I thought he was Italian, but he actually is, I believe.
I thought Hulk Hogan was black.
When I was a kid, yeah. He was the same color as Nutella.
Like I had a friend who told me they were like, he's like, bro, I found out that Taz isn't black, and I was like, hey yo, he's just very Italian.
Very Italian.
He's very Italian, and he's from New York. That's just what he is.
Exactly. Like the blackness just jumps on him.
All right. Before Hulk Hogan tries to cancel this podcast, because
you're talking too much about people of color.
He's like, "Oh, brother, I don't like this, brother."
What I mean, brother, I mean brother.
Hulk Hogan, we coming for you, brother.
Oh, great.
Wait a minute. I thought he was Canadian because of his theme song. What
theme song?
I am a real Canadian. We give maple syrup to every man. That's crazy.
I have one hell of a tan.
I mean, that's irrefutable. I mean,
he should. Yeah.
There's a lot you can say about that tan, but it is a hell of a tan. I'll agree with that.
It was a hell of a tan, dude. Like whoever helped him get that, had fooled people for years.
Maybe that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to like fool people.
Until he started dancing, then you were confused.
Nah, he was hitting that though. He was like all he had, he instead of doing this though, he should could you imagine if he hit this? Like hit that little
I don't know what this show is.
Hey man, we doing it up. Half this show is basically us crashing out about Hulk Hogan. Oh my god. Oh no, Trevor froze. Oh no. Oh no, we lost him. It's like
he's Unfreeze me.
Oh, he's coming back. There he is. He's back. Hulk and Ric Flair's tan was that Ric Flair.
Ric Flair had a tan too.
MJF got that Ric Flair tan, bro.
Yeah, he does. That Ric Flair tan is something serious.
He needs to. we need to tone it back a little bit, like one swatch. No, because I thought he was celebrating citizenship. Could you imagine? That's a hell of a gimmick right there, Trevor. Hulk Hogan was Canadian this whole time, but he was one of those like, I just got my citizenship.
You have won. Jermaine, you have won. I don't know what you won, but you won it.
You won, bro. No, that was like, look, Booker of the Year, bro. Yeah, that's crazy. Well, going from Hulk Hogan's racism to a little bit more serious stuff with Monday Night Raw this past week. I don't know how to transition to this because we're kind of doing haha, but we're going right into a little bit of a serious thing. So there was a segment on Monday Night Raw this past week that was met with a lot of fan backlash over a segment that involved Carlito and Damage Control. And basically what happened was there were Io Sky was talking to Adam Pearce backstage. They then walk away, and Carlito comes by, looks at them leave, and just says, "Man, I gotta learn Chinese," which members of Damage Control, Io Sky and Kairi Sane, they are Japanese, of course, not Chinese. There's been a lot of backlash about this. I got stuck on that fence. there's been a lot of commentary, and it's come out now that the line was ad-libbed by Carlito. It was not in the script. The optics, though, for WWE are very bad. This comes at the same week that a Rolling Stones article kind of chronicled the experience of 6 former WWE writers and how they felt like there was sexism, bullying, and other forms of other forms of like discrimination to an extent in the writers' room there. Trevor, this is not a good look. I think we'll just start there. It's just not a good look.
No, it's not a good look at all. It's one of those things where you can't, in this day and age and everything that's going on in WWE, you can't make even a minor mistake. You can't do something like that. Like, I mean, one, it's a different race. Like, it is honestly a different race. I mean, yes, they're all Asian, but Japanese, that's different. One, and two, it's not cool as a wrestler or anybody, especially on TV while children are watching, to objectify women that way. I mean, I'm sure the youngest of children is not going to get why he said what he said, but at the same token, it's not right to say. Like, all the backlash with the McMahon scandal and the sex trafficking and things like that, this is not something you want on your new, clean Raw. It's not something that you want.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a good look. It's not a good look for the company. It's definitely not a good look for Carlito at all, who's been gone for years and just came back.
Yeah, and kind of like what complicates things as well is Io Sky was actually like one of the things that people like bullied and piled on to her was like, this disgusting like trope of like go back to China, which of course, again, she's from Japan, and it's just it's bad. And look. I would hope, and I think I don't think Carlito meant anything obviously offensive by it. It could have just been a slip of the tongue or what have you. There were people backstage, according to Fightful Select, who were shocked by kind of the way it came across, especially given the context of Io's kind of history with like that cyberbullying. And I think like it was insensitive, and this is not like a call to like cancel Carlito or whatever. No, like it's just. I will say this though. I will say this. There's like no cancel, like whatever. Not whatever, but like you know what I mean. But if for example, Trevor, I'm from Pakistan.
Sure.
I speak Urdu. People who've been around me kind of know that, right? Sure. And if you work with me, you know that. But if I was at a job and like we're in like a public setting, like a meeting or something, and someone just goes, like in reference to me, oh yeah, I better learn Arabic. I would be like, hey, yo, bro, what? Like,
What do you? Yeah.
now imagine that happening on live TV. That's crazy right there. That is crazy.
Oh yeah,
That's what
absolutely.
complicates this in a lot, in big way. Because like that shows you the margin of error. Like, look, no one is saying that like there's no room to like mess up, but like when you're talking about someone's race, when you're talking about someone's like language origin, like that's stuff that like you need to have like a button down, because at the end of the day, that like fuels hate, like because there's already people who are like in a weird way defending Carlito, but saying like, oh man, like guys, one of these guys was like same, like, oh yeah, Carlito is the same thing. I'm like, no, it's first of all same thing. Like that is like I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into like feeding that type of energy, obviously, but I mean like I think we can all agree it was a messed up thing to say and do, and I would hope that Carlito has apologized, and if he has, and hopefully EO doesn't get any more backlash, because like think people are kind of trying to turn this back around on her, which is disgusting, in my view. But
like my so most of you know, like my family lineage is deep in New Orleans and all over the place. And New Orleans, there's a lot of people who are Creole, which I am. We speak Creole French, and I don't speak it. I understand it a lot better than I speak it, and I will never forget this. Me and my brother went out once, and he speaks it. And there was a French-speaking person. He overheard him. He started speaking it to him. Now, Creole French is broken French. It is, I guess, very, very, very broken French. It's not traditional French. So certain words in Creole, this French style French isn't the same in traditional French. So he was talking, and my brother said something to him, and what he said to his friend, which translated was, "I didn't know black people spoke French."
Bro has not been to France. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah,
Wow.
And his friend said, reply back, "I didn't know they could learn it." Whatever. Yeah. So like, it's one of those things where, like, you gotta watch what you say. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's a little different, but you gotta watch what you say.
Yeah, and again, like Carlito misspoke. Or if the case is that Carlito misspoke and like that's the end of it, then
right.
No one's calling for his head. No one's saying you should be suspended or anything like that.
Because to be honest, in the grand scheme of things, and the worst thing you could probably say, there are way worse he could have said, way worse he that have been said. But at the same token, it's still not something you should make a habit of saying.
No, I mean, like, look, yeah.
And it wasn't sensitive.
Yeah, and I think, it's one of those things, like, there's, like, degrees of accountability, right?
Right.
Sometimes it's an apology. Sometimes it's like, look, recognize what I did was wrong, move on, learn from it.
Right.
And, that could be the case here. A lot of times, and like, I'm sensitive to this because, like, look, I've been in work environments, Trevor, where, like, these kinds of things are kind of said. And, like, the context matters because you don't know what the person has said before. And, again, I'm not trying to imply that Carlito's ever said anything before regarding this. We don't know. But, so maybe I'm like a little extra sensitive because of my own experience with this, because I've been in settings where like things have been said about like other people or me or that have like different context because there's history there. But again, I am also someone who's like very like of the mind that sometimes people just say dumb stuff, and sometimes you just gotta acknowledge it was dumb and move on, and that's okay. That's part of life. That's growing, and it's like the doubling, tripling down. And like say I didn't do anything wrong is like that's like what I find like really stupid. But that's just my view.
No, I think you're absolutely right. I have gotten when it's happened more than once, and I like thought it was kind of. And both times it happened, I thought it was kind of messed up. I've gotten mistaken for Middle Eastern.
My brother.
Many,
My brother.
many times. Many times. And the first time it happened was, well, I was in the airport and I was in a regular line, security line. And the lady goes, "Hey, sir, you've been picked for special security."
Hey, man, you've been randomly selected. I know. Look, Trevor. I know how it goes, bro.
I know you do. I know you do. And so I get in this line, and Omar, I literally look, and I'm like, "Holy crap! They think I'm Middle Eastern." And literally, like people from Pakistan, every ethnicity that could look like terrorists, I was in. You get what I'm saying? And I didn't mean it like that, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, because I love everybody.
Yeah, it's like that profile, like, because especially like in like post 9/11 like world, it's like that whole like that caricature of like a brown terrorist, like
exactly. If you're brown, you're in this line, and that's exactly what it was, and it was like maybe 30 people, and I was like, this is the most racist. And the biggest thing was
like, oh shit, yo, they just picked every single brown person out of this line.
It was two, and the people that were doing it was 4 big white women and white guys doing this, and I'm like, yo, if this isn't racism, I don't know what.
Like you had an out of body experience, just like, hey, yo.
And then another time, I was this again post 9/11. I was downtown rushing to work. I worked at Capital One Arena at the time.
Oh, you done messed up, son.
And apparently, there was a person of Middle Eastern descent, I guess, that threatened that had something that caused damage down there. And I'm coming off, like I said, I'm rushing to work because I'm not as always I normally am. I'm almost late. This cop stops and, "Hey, can I talk to you for a second?" I was like, "Sure, what's up?" I'm late for work. And he goes, "Well, we're looking for someone, blah, blah." And I'm like, "Okay." And he said, "So, quick question, where do you work again?" I'm like, "Wait, are you doing a fit the description on me?" And
yo, bro, like, let's be honest. Let's be real for a sec. That Family Guy's a dumb show. But like that Family Guy meme of like Peter going to the airport and then pulling out like the paint swatches and be like good, not good, not good. It's so true.
Very true.
It's so true. That's like,
and I've gotten that on my whole life, and not just because I'm black. I've gotten it from other people of color too, because I'm mixed, so I get it on both sides. So I completely understand. It's an uncomfortable thing, and like. Yeah, let's be honest. I mean, again, we're not canceling Carlito. We're not saying he's a bad person. We're not doing any of that. We're just saying everybody, not just him, watch what you say.
Man, I'm so sick of like the talk though. Like, oh, people are trying to cancel WWE. WWE is basically Disney. Ain't nobody gonna cancel WWE over this. Like, come on, bro.
I mean, and can we just be honest for a second? If they can't cancel themselves, who else can cancel?
Anyway, man, I don't know. Well, whatever.
I mean, oh my god.
I got a few more minutes, then I got to get out of here though. But it's a good little side quest here, Trevor. Looks like they're bringing back the Bloodline together. Jey Uso lost the Intercontinental Championship to Braun Breaker, who, by the way, Braun Breaker had like a stare down with Jacob Fatu that had me like, oh,
I would love to see that.
Yeah, that's gonna be an awesome match. But Jey Uso lost the Intercontinental Championship to Braun Breaker, who got it back on Monday Night Raw this week, and it was in part due to Bloodline, Solo Sikoa Bloodline interference. It looks like we're rallying the troops, Trevor. They're getting the Bloodline back together.
That's what it looks like. I mean, we kind of called it anyway, said that Braun might get it back, but I mean, here's the thing. Braun sure never lost it, but again, Jey Uso definitely did deserve it. I just wish it was a longer run. But it does look like they're rallying the troops and getting them back. I mean, Jimmy did say we needed some help, so
Come on, Oos. We got to get the boys back together. Yo, my biggest worry about this, I'll be so honest with you, is instead of bringing Sammy back into the fold, they bring Cody in.
Yeah.
I would be so annoyed if that were the case, honestly.
I don't want Cody. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Cody. I can't say it enough, but he's not an original Oos.
Sammy, okay, like if we're being
Sammy was an honorary Oos.
Sammy was the honorary. He was the catalyst of that storyline becoming what it
was.
Like
it absolutely was.
Don't get me wrong. Everyone had a role to play. That thing does not get as big as it does, like that story without Sami Zayn's. It was like the perfect storm, because that's what endeared you to the Bloodline.
Exactly, absolutely. Like because Sammy for weeks was trying to get onto the Bloodline, and they kept whooping his ass, and tried forever. It was
a beatdown, bro. They were initiating.
It was funny as hell, but no. Once he actually got, like you said, everyone had a role to play. Everyone, it was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the entire reason. I mean, it was like a quick hot potato, as Ryan in the chat kind of mentions, like with the belt. But I think it was kind of to get a little bit of extra heat on the Bloodline, and it kind of worked. I think it worked. It also gave Jay like his first singles title win, which I think it worked out for the better.
Yeah. I think it helped everybody involved. Honestly, again, I wish Jay would have been able to keep it a little longer, but it helped everybody involved.
But yeah, no, for God's sake, don't put Cody in that match. Oh my God. When is Cody gonna have bro, this is like actually Cody's like first like individual feud, like outside of the AJ Styles stuff, but even then that was like AJ Styles stuff wasn't great. The match is
really continuing the KO feud. Is that a thing?
It seems like that's the plan for Survivor Series. Like the way I see it playing out. This coming Saturday, I think, is Blood Money Mania. So and like it's gonna be Gunther versus Cody for the Crown Jewel Championship.
Oh, that's this Sunday.
I mean, I ain't watching it, but but I think that what might happen is like KO costs Cody the match, so Gunther wins.
But then they're also making KO and Randy Orton bump heads too, which is
bump heads. He beat that ass, bro. KO whooped that ass. I don't know. I just look. It would be great. It's gonna be great to see them all back together, but it has to be Sammy and not Cody.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll only work with Sammy.
Yeah. Trevor, last thing I want to ask you before we head out. We were all a kid once, you know. We were all young. We all believed that wrestling was real. We were all crying, cheering, sometimes laughing, but also we were terrified as all hell by the wonderful world that was and is professional wrestling. So, in the spirit of Halloween and the spooky season in general, Trevor, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What is a moment in wrestling history that scared, spooked, or terrified you when you were a wee little lad?
I will say one of the when King Mabel broke Undertaker's face, supposedly broke his face.
Oh no, he broke that man's face. He sat right on that man. That's a big.
That one kind of freaked me out.
You were just like, "Hey, bro, that's a lot of man."
That's what I was like, "Yo." Like, I was like, "Did he really break his face?" Like, but I like, and even one of the first casket matches I saw, kind of because of course, caskets carry carry that stigma. But I think one of the things that freaked me out the most was them hanging Big Boss Man from the cage. That one kind of got me a little bit. I'm like, yo, like, what are we doing here? What is going on now? because like his face started turning red and everything. Like he literally was like swinging. I was like, are we gonna get him out of there or?
I feel that no, like the Big Boss Man thing was crazy. Like when I
Yeah,
first saw that, I was like, oh my god, they're killing
wild.
it. And this is like, okay, mind you, I first saw this like maybe like 7-8 years after it happened. Probably even longer than that, to be honest. Like,
Right.
but I was like, oh my god. So I literally like, I'm with like shout out to my friend Kevin, who I think we had him like on the show like a long time ago.
A long time ago, yeah.
But we were I was with him. He's a family friend. We were watching like it on like a DVD player because this is back in the good old days. And I just like I remember I saw like that thing. And I was like, oh no, oh my god, they're murdering him. And I'm like, I'm screaming like, call the cops. Oh my god, covering my eyes. Because that's what I thought was happening. I thought they hung him. And then like my boy had to be like, hey yo, first of all, wrestling is fake. Secondly, look. R.I.P. Big Boss Man. He had already passed away for real. Like by then.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, oh my god, wait, he's actually dead. And for some reason that was more creepier in my mind. Shout out to the Big Boss Man though. But that was definitely a moment for me as well. Yeah, I will say a wrestler I was really terrified of growing up was Batista.
I could see that.
And
I can see that.
It's for this reason. So one of the first like real memories I have of like watching wrestling, like when it's like imprinted in your mind, right, was lead up to Survivor Series 2003, and like there's like this spot where Batista is literally choking the life out of Shawn Michaels, and like there's blood coming out of his mouth, and he's like choking the hell out of him. And I was like, bro, as a kid, I think I was like what 5 maybe when that happened. I was like Batista and Kane were the definition of fear as far as professional wrestling goes. Like for a 5-6-year-old me, and that's why even when he turned face, it was hard for me to like. I was like, no, he's evil. When he was doing that thing with the stuff with Eddie, I was like, no, he's Eddie. He's the real evil one. Like he'll squeeze you.
I felt the same way about Papa Shango though when I was younger.
Bro, I don't think there's even like 5-year-old me could never.
I didn't like clowns. I didn't. Face paint bothered me. So, like, and Doink really fucked me up. But like, I didn't like.
God, Doink was crazy.
I didn't like clowns when I was a kid. So like,
evil Doink too. Evil Doink.
With anything with face paint like messed me up, and so like when you saw Papa Shango doing all that, I was like, oh no.
You're like, oh no. We're not doing this today. Yeah, man. Wrestling's scary, though. You're almost as scary as Undertaker's podcast with Trump. Yeah. First of all, I mean, like, look, I would just say this. Like, horrible overall. I would not recommend watching it. But there's one funny part where, like, Trump is basically, like, pretending. He's like, you know, I was so, like, I can't believe it. You were so slow in the ring and you were so methodical. And in real life, you know, you're a fast guy, you're a quick guy, but you're so slow. It's just so crazy to see. I'm like, this man thinks wrestling is real. Like, I love, like, that is funny as hell to me. This man is just like, he called Vince when the limo blew up because he thought it was real.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember.
Trevor, I was like 10 when that came out. This man was like 50, 60.
That man was like old.
The man was old. Come on, bro. Oh man, but it'd be like that. Well, real quick, we gotta. I know I gotta head out, but let's just do this real quick because Ryan Woodridge being very generous sent a $2.
Ryan, thank you so much, man.
Super chat, asking the question: do you want to see Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis wrestle a match for GM control over the shows?
Nick Aldis, I always miss in the ring. Adam Pearce wasn't bad in the ring. He wasn't bad. I think it could be entertaining. Get a good match out of it. I mean, honestly, I would love to see Cody and Nick again, but that's just my personal opinion.
Cody and Nick Aldis would slap. Like, if you guys haven't seen their match from All In 2018, go check it out. Fantastic wrestling match.
Nick Aldis and Cody Rhodes, such a great match. Oh my god! But no, I think this will be entertaining.
Ryan Davis, what scared me in wrestling? Having to watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre match. I love AEW, but man, that was brutal. Okay, here's the thing. If you went into that thinking it was going to be serious, you played yourself.
Played yourself.
I went into that and I looked at that and I was like, this is going, because first of all, it involves Jeff Jarrett, all right? This was going to be bullocks out the wazoo. Like, this was going to be like, just like wrestle booty. Like,
wrestle booty.
But in the best way. Because, like, here's the thing. I just want, like, this is one of those, like, crazy, like, hey, man, we're just going to do it. And it was the highest rated thing on the show. I'm just going to say it was the highest rated thing on that show, which is crazy.
It was interesting, though. It was funny to watch.
It was fun, man. Like, sometimes you do need that, though. Just like a big, just like brawl. It was fun. It's just fun. And my favorite, Leatherface, for no reason, coming out with a chainsaw. That was Tony Khan. I promise you, he had the best time booking that match. He was just like,
you know he did.
It's gonna be great. There's gonna be slime everywhere.
It's gonna be fun.
And then Leatherface is gonna come out. Oh man. All right. Yeah. Okay. It's well past 8. I do have to run. But Trevor, any parting thoughts? What are you watching? Actually, no. We got to do this. What are you watching?
Oh god. I'm still watching the Attitude Era.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
And did it get any better?
Tad bit. As well after the DX was formed, and apparently Bret Hart was hurt for like 6 months in a wheelchair. I forgot about this.
Oh yeah, Shawn, he injured my damn leg, the bastard.
And he's literally like hobbling around, like yeah. You call yourself a man, Mr. Boy Toy? Like you don't have the insides, you don't have the balls. Then Shawn Michaels kicks him out of the chair, and it's the funniest damn thing to me.
Man, salty Bret Hart promos for the win.
But yes, it's wrestling, and I actually just finally watched the R.O. Stein Fear Street movies, which were really good, and way more violent than I expected. Which is but good God,
man, R.L. Stein's Goosebumps used to scare me as a kid.
Yeah,
like the intro song. Do 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 do.
My brother, like when I first got into horror, my brother turned that show on. No, it was Are You Scared of the Dark? Are You Afraid of the Dark? And he would turn that song on, and he was playing and called them names.
R.L. Stein, you sick SOB, man. You scarred so many children for life.
I sure did. I actually love R.L. Stein.
In the spirit of Halloween, I did watch the Scary Godmother cartoon series.
I haven't seen that in a long time, but yeah,
it is the most like mid 2000s thing ever. If you saw it then, you get it. If you didn't, you don't.
Yeah, I saw it then. I haven't seen it in years, but I saw it then.
Yeah. If I showed that to like my cousin now, he'd be like, "What the fuck is this? Why does this look so weird? What is this bulky CGI?" Like, it's not CGI. It's just, look, you don't get it, kid. It's just what it is. Oh man, Trevor, any parting thoughts though before we head out?
Guys, have fun. Enjoy your days. Unfortunately, uncomfortableness is coming up in November, and we all know what I'm talking about.
Survivor Series, War Games,
War Games, and also the election. So, just pray, be hopeful, and vote.
Listen, man. Guys, be sure to hit that like button. Go to youtube.com/OTGrap. Subscribe. Go over and on the X and follow Trevor at TREVERTAINMENT. That is TREVERTAINMENT. This has been OT Graps. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.
Love those who are far, hug those who are close. Take care of yourself, guys. Have a good week.
Peace.